Ryan, could you share with us what should RVers be aware of when it comes to solar panels? And then a second part of that is what weight should we add to the solar panel sizing and how do we balance that?
Great questions, a lot of parts. I'll break that down. So when it comes to solar panels on the roof of an RV, they are in the least optimal placement. If you're doing this onto a house, you're facing south, you have all the panels facing the same direction. There's a lot of things that we do when it's mounted onto a house to make sure that we can utilize all of the power from each single solar panel and not having shading come into effect. And you don't have any of those options when it comes to an RV. You don't know if the air conditioner is going to be shading part of your panels or not, and you have them sprawled out because you're probably not getting it mounted from one side to the other and all of them in the exact same plane. So first off, you have to realize that what those panels are labeled at for harvesting, you're not going to reach. You're not going to get that much of it. So realize that if you can add a little bit more, it's going to be a little bit better. And then take it all with a grain of salt, because it is more important for you to have a good view right by that river that's running through. And if you can find yourself a little bit of shade, or you can get yourself next to that big, beautiful oak tree or whatever it is, yeah, that's going to trump. That's going to trump being out in the middle of the sun, in the middle of a prairie. So just realize you're never putting these things in the absolute best place. The other thing I would watch out for is with all of these new MPP trackers, they really are trying to find that sweet spot within that solar array to add, to get you the most power out of it. And if you start mixing solar panels, you're not going to be doing your tracker a favor. So if you have a single power, if you have a single Go Power panel up there, or if you have a single whatever it is, really take a look and see if that's the size panel, if that's the spec that you're looking for, because you should be adding more of those. And if it's not the right panel, just ditch it while you only have one of them, and then recalculate and redesign the system. What a manufacturer is putting up onto the roof as far as when it comes to solar, they're slapping a panel up for most people, most weekend warriors, for most people that are just going out for a short trip. I mean, what's an RV designed to be used? It's designed to be used, like 6 weeks out of a year. And that's weekends, not even full weeks. So most of these, that panel is good enough. It's decent. It come back from storage 2-3 weeks later, and your battery's up. That one battery, or maybe two, is ready to go. When you're going to be using more, when you need more, it's really important at the very beginning to kind of just take a step back and look at it and decide, yeah, this is the direction I want to go, or not. So that would be the actual PV part of it. When it comes to how do you manage, I think that was the second half. How do you balance that? What kind of camping characteristics? If you're taking that weekend warrior mentality and adding a couple of days to it, if you're not using a bunch of power, if you're just a conservative person, well, that is really something that has to be taken into account. If you're like most people out there, you want the creature comforts of home. You don't want to be burdened with, oh, you know what, we need to manage this power. Then I would say, if it fits, put one on. I mean, it really is to that point. up here in Montana, we don't have good power in the wintertime. That sun really drops down. It's really close to the horizon. Our days really shorten. You might have 2 hours of optimal sunlight. And if you find yourself really wanting to be in areas like this in those shoulder seasons, you know, you want to be here and push, you know, you want the snow to push you out of Montana and kind of south. Well, you kind of have to keep that in mind, that you're not going to have the power output that you would in the middle of summer with our longer days. So really, if you're pushing it, if you can fit it up there, I mean, within reason, it's probably going to make sense to put it in. You know, the nice thing about solar panels is you can always add more. You can stack controllers together. If it's a Victron, you can design a half a system, kind of get into it, see if that's what you really like, and then you can add a second one and just parallel them together.